Ladies and gentlemen, Palantir Technologies is showing no signs of slowing down at the start of the overnight trading hours on Robinhood, crossing 67, nearly touching $68 as we speak. If this continues in the market open tomorrow, Palantir could easily cross $70 per share. We're going to be talking about what does this mean, because the valuation, as we know, has been completely disconnected from what the market is currently pricing Palantir at right now, which some are deeming for perfection. And a lot of people that are sitting on the sidelines questioning, when is this going to pull back, like myself? I don't know, because this thing is still continuing to go parabolic. We're going to be talking about this type of situation, what we can be expecting in the markets this week in terms of the broader market. And also we have an NVDA this week that's going to be reporting their earnings, which is also going to be incredibly important. We also hit 18,000 subscribers. I can't thank you guys enough. Help me hit my goal by 20,000 by the end of the year. That's my Christmas wish. Subscribe, hit that like button, and of course, not a financial advisor, collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now pop it up on the screen. Right now as we speak, Palantir, ladies and gentlemen, is at $67 per share. Just a few weeks ago, I feel like we were asking in the comments, will Palantir be able to hit $50 by the end of the year? We still have a month and a half to go, and we are sitting right now at $67. You see Palantir topping out nearly at 67, basically $68 right here, what we saw. It'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow during market open. Now, what we see Palantir close on Friday at $65.77 at a market cap of $150 billion. This was a $50 billion stock just a few months ago. And the question is, what are the big reasons that we're seeing Palantir that is continuing to accelerate? And one of the big key components, I think, is the defense tech sector, and not specifically AIP, and this involvement into the commercial side of things has been incredibly lucrative. I agree with that, 100%. But the defense sector and defense tech, and especially incorporating AI into the military, has been very rewarding for Palantir. We see that right in front of our eyes, especially with the Navy contract that is anticipated, the intended contract for announcement in January, to be about $1 billion, which is nuts in itself. So when it comes to AI, what do we all think about in this workplace? We're talking about productivity, ChatGPT, robotics. A lot of us are not thinking about the defense sector in the U.S. military, but the defense industry is a little bit different. And it's pretty well known that the government contracting is an enormous business. And if the government wants to get more involved into basically working to get incorporated into AI and working on defense, which is incredibly important with the geopolitical tensions that we have right now, and you got a company that Palantir that is basically at the forefront of this specific niche, and even a top competitor in the AI business, then hey, that's a lot of money that could be pouring in regarding contracts into Palantir. And we're seeing that that's kind of becoming more normal. All these contracts that are continuing to headline across the horizon. Now, just like any organization here, like I said, with the geopolitical unrest, this is a huge win for Palantir. We've seen such the big bets on Amazon, Microsoft incorporating and being involved with multiple big tech companies. And that's where the question is, people talking about, is Palantir stock still a buy right now? Everybody is talking about its abnormally high trend, suggesting the stock is, over in this overbought territory, too pricey, and even buying right now. And specifically what we're seeing is a lot of even big billionaires you're going to see here talking about this. Ken Griffin's Citadel, he sold right here. And talking about specifically, we're seeing a lot of selling, and even on the insider side of things. Recently, we saw CEO Alex Karp and the co-founder Peter right here. They have sold over $2.5 billion worth of stocks since September. We've seen multiple different reports of the trades that they've been making, taking profits. Palantir is still continuing to rise in price. So nonetheless, for the people that are on this ride, climbing this mountain, with their bags that are continuing to accumulate in value, congratulations to everybody out there. And right here, you could say that just the Friday, we saw Alex Karp coming here to sell another $400 million worth of stock, which is nearly PLTR's yearly revenue. I am not faulting the leaders here. Alex Karp taking advantage of a stock that is going absolutely parabolic in price. profit taking, taking advantage of everybody talking about Palantir. This is business, and he's making some pretty, I would say, common sense business deals. One thing that we do see is when insiders start to sell, people start to panic. You see uncertainty. Oh my God, what do they know that we don't know in terms of, are we going to see, is this pricing at the top? Are we going to see a flip? No, they're just using risk assessment, profit taking. Palantir is at all-time highs and above any all-time kind of record highs that we've seen in the stock's public trading. So taking advantage of that. That's not any fault to them at all. In my opinion, that is where I stand with that, regardless of what's been happening with Palantir, which has been pretty incredible things. Now, what are we expecting the markets this week? A big key player here is going to be NVIDIA. Remember last week, and specifically where we closed on the week, we had the general markets that actually had a little bit of a pullback. And this is where Palantir is even doing incredibly well because it's trading opposite of what the broader markets are doing. The big indexes here, NASDAQ, S&P 500, Dow Jones, about 1 to 2% across the board. That was a close on Friday. The Fed is going to be coming out with more remarks. Now, the reason why we're seeing the broader market that is starting to see a little bit of a decline here after the post-election rally that a lot of people are coining this trading session is basically, the Fed came out and said, hey, we're really in no rush or hurry to keep continuing to cut interest rates. They want to really continue that soft landing objective, and they will do any, by means possible to try to keep the target inflation rate. So the Fed's going to be coming out to continue to speak on that matter, and you're also going to have earnings from NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA, the world's most valuable company right now, is going to report earnings on Wednesday. You also have big key players like Walmart and Target and Lowe's, which is going to give us a big kind of idea and indicator on how retail is doing. You got John Deere, and also you got economic data that's going to be released talking about the housing market. Now, one of the big things is you're going to see remarks from the Chicago Fed president right here and the Cleveland Fed president talking about insight on whether the Federal Reserve basically could change its rate cut schedule. We saw them. We've seen, of course, 75 basis points cut so far this year. Will that continue? A lot of investors were pricing in about a 25, or about another 25 basis points to be cut for the following remainder of the year. However, the probability of that is starting to decrease. And what we're going to see in terms of indexes and macroeconomic pieces of data, home builder confidence will be coming out here. That Fed remarks is going to be happening tomorrow, actually. And then, of course, on NVIDIA, that's going to be happening Wednesday, November 20th. Now, NVIDIA earnings expectations for quarter three. Now, where NVIDIA closed out on Friday was at $141, actually reducing a little bit here, down about 3%. Now, NVIDIA, of course, is at these all-time highs too, along with a lot of the other AI stocks. They're expected to bring in about 74 cents for earnings per share on a revenue of $33.2 billion. That is absolutely crazy in terms of one quarter. What this works out to be is an 83% year-over-year increase on both the top and the bottom line versus the same period of what we saw last year. Now, also read here, NVIDIA stock is expected, they say right here, as analysts are pricing in, to surge about $180 as Wall Street backs a positive Q3 earnings boost. They have identified a $178 price target as the stock should end the year on a high note. The most important driver of the price increase is the stock's youth. And what they talk about here, indeed, it is still in its early stages of satisfying this growing demand. However, Q4 and beyond are expected to bring even further gains for NVIDIA. One of the big things that we've seen, especially for the stock, is the Blackwell chips and how Blackwell chips are in incredible demand. We've seen the CEO that has came out and said that the demand is crazy. They don't know how they're going to follow suit in terms of keeping up with orders. These are all positive remarks from the CEO talking about how we're seeing no signs of the AI industry and the AI boom that is slowing down. Now, NVIDIA, we're going to get that after the bell on Wednesday, November 20th. What are your predictions with that? And where do we stand with Palantir? Because right now it's sitting at $67 per share. I want to know, what are you guys doing down in the comments? Are you guys still think this is a buy at this point? Some people do. Or do you think we're going to be waiting for a pullback? Where is that dip, and what prices are people going to be expecting in terms of getting in on Palantir if they are expecting a dip? We do know one thing, the valuation is completely disconnected. We'll see where Palantir goes, and hey, it could be hitting over $70 per share tomorrow. Crazy to say that in the year of 2024. Peace out. Take care. I'll catch you guys later. If you made it to the end, thank you guys so much for watching and all your support. Have a great night.